Hello everyone, today we're going to dive into forms, meta objects, and first-party data. So I'm really excited because these are some new features and also showcase some new data structures that are actually integrated into Shopify. So I'm going to go through an example, but hopefully it gives you some creative ideas around what you can do. So let's dive into it. So first of all, I just downloaded the Forms app of Shopify. It's a Shopify native app. You can really easily build forms with it. And so one of the things that I actually didn't know, it's quite simple, but I didn't know that you could do, is you can actually create a very simple form to upload a file. Okay, so let's dive into the demo. So I've created a form here. So it's called Idea Box. So I just created this already so that you don't have to see me type, but I'm going to zoom into what exactly it is. So again, this is the native Shopify Forms application. You can just easily create a form. You can do it in a pop-up or inline, and then if you click on one of these buttons, you actually see this setup. So here on the top view, you actually see some metrics, some analytics of your form, and then basically you just give it a name, you give it a title, and you select the fields that you want to have in your form. So this is super cool because you can actually just out of the box, you can upload certain images or a file. So basically what you can do here, because my idea here, what I wanted to show is that you have a certain product idea, like I said, on a certain page so that you can ask your customers some new products or whatever that they would like you to sell. So basically it's two fields. It's a file field and it's just your email address. The email address is really important. I'll come back to that later. So basically again, this form was created. Then you actually get an ID of this form. So if you create the form, Shopify automatically creates the ID for this form. And then in the online store, if you go through to making a page, basically, so you just create a page, which is the ID idea dump, and then you actually create in your online store, you create a template for this specific page, which is created here. So you do the idea dump, and then you actually add a block here, add a section, which is a app section. So basically what you do here is you add section, you add apps, and then the Forms apps is in there, obviously, because it's a native app. And you select the fact that you want to add a section, a Forms section. And then what you actually do is you just add the ID that you had, you paste it in here so that Shopify knows which form it should show in this template or in this section. Then when you have created this template, you, like I said before, you create a page, which is this page. It's now an empty page because I just want to show what I'm doing, so it's nothing really special. You give it the idea dump template. So then if you go to the website itself, I just added it to the navigation bar. So if we then click in the page, I created a link already on the top in the navigation just for the purposes of the demo. So you click into it, you have this page in front of you, which is the page that we created. It's according to the templates that we have created, and you see the form that we have created in the backend. So now the super cool thing is that you just have a form, you can add a file to it. So basically, let me just see. So I love these coffee machines basically. So I'm going to say that I want to create or I want to suggest to sell this specific product. I'm just going to quickly go into my customers because I want this to land under this specific customer. So I'm going to copy his email address here. I'm actually logged into this customer as well. So you upload your input, then you see that it's successful. And so a really cool thing starts now. So basically what you had before is you had a form already. What happened before is that you actually now, as a merchant, you got an email saying that a certain form has been submitted. And then when you would love to go back, for example, to all of those form submissions, if you would, for example, try to see, okay, has Sam already submitted the form? You needed to go back to your email address and search for all of the entries of the form and then select my specific entry. What Shopify now did, and really it's quite crazy if you just think about it, is that it's fully integrated into a database. So instead of just sending the emails, it's really saved in a database in Shopify. So Shopify actually expanded their data structure, their data infrastructure, and they now have a data structure that is actually linked to the forms that you create. So once you created a form, if you then go in content, you actually see that automatically Shopify has created a meta object based on the form. So we have two fields in the form. So basically what Shopify did is they created a meta object also with two fields, which is in this case the idea box, where you can upload a image and a email address. So here I see the overview of all of the form submissions that I have for this specific form. So obviously you can have 10 or 15 or an infinite number of forms throughout your website. And you actually see all of the submissions for this specific form in the database in Shopify. So again, normally the database would live in your email address. Now it lives all in the admin in Shopify. So basically what Shopify does is it just creates additional databases based on the forms that you have created. So this is really cool. Why? And it goes even further than this. You can actually see that this entry was created by Forms. Why? Because we just created the form, Shopify automatically created the meta object, and then I actually, with this email address, submitted an entry for this specific form. So you can basically see that Sam has added this that they have sent in this specific idea or this specific image, which is quite insane because again, you can just see the image. Again, it's not sent to an email address only, but you can really see the image itself. So also that image is now in the database of Shopify. So you can do whatever you want to do with it. I'll come back to that later. But what is super cool as well is that automatically Shopify understands that I added an email address. And so then it starts looking if that email address already existed. Probably if that doesn't exist, the customer is created because you want to add the form submission to that specific customer because you have an email address now, which is good for email marketing automation or even personalization on the front end. So basically what happens now is there is a customer and that submission is linked to that customer. And you see this here, that there is a reference to the customer that has submitted this specific form. So then we can click right through to the customer that is linked to this entry. And you see now with the meta fields, because meta objects can be based on meta fields, right? So once you created the form, the meta object is created, which are meta fields together in a meta object. And then those meta fields are actually added to the customer so that you can see the entries that were done via the form in the customer itself. So now you can see from this customer view that this customer has submitted this image via this form on this specific date. So this is quite cool because this just enables you with a whole data flywheel. So because of the structure and efficient way that Shopify actually organizes their data structure and now has added additional databases based on specific data objects such as meta objects, you actually have a new data flywheel that you can add to the experience of your customer. So just an idea, but just to give you a thought of what you can do with this and how this is really exciting. What you now could do is you create an extension in the account structure, and you can just say that if I then log in, because for me, I just submitted the form, right? I don't have an overview as a customer of all the forms that I have submitted. What you could do is you create a account extensibility, and you actually show all of the entries that that specific customer has done. You show it in the account structure. So for example, this account, Sam, if he logs in, you could create an extension that would see that I have already submitted this, and this idea. So for example, if I want to add another idea to the merchant, I can first check, did I already actually send this, yes or no? So I can see in my customer structure all the ideas that I have already shared with the merchant and then say, maybe I have an additional new idea, and I just enter it in the form again. So why is this super important? Again, this is all done out of the box. All the databases are run in Shopify, so you don't have to worry about them. It just expands naturally with all the form submissions that you do. All of the information is in there. You can all see it from the admin. And you can build personalized experiences based on the interactions that the customer has with the website. So you have more first-party data because everything is inside of Shopify. And based on that first-party data, obviously, you can organize, for example, personalized email marketing automation, but also personalized websites. So this is, I think, what I wanted to show today. This goes way further than just the fact that you have a new database structure in Shopify. This really enables us to create better experiences for the customer and also make sure that you as a merchant have more first-party data that you that you can work with and have exposed so that you can create the good experience for your customer. So hope you liked it. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, obviously, and we can look if this could be helpful for you to make sure you have more data on your customer and create a good experience. Thanks so much.